Kenneth Walker isn't returning to the Seahawks. You should expect that to be the case now. This week, we learned Kenneth Walker not going to be hit with the franchise tag by the Seahawks. And the reason that is they have larger priorities this offseason. Larger priorities than addressing a running back in terms of positional value. They need to extend Jackson Smith-Njigba and Devin Witherspoon. Pound for pound, the two best players on their team. That's something that they need to get done this year. And that's not going to be cheap. We have the sound of Jackson Smith-Njigba, who was talking earlier this week, saying that not only does he want the contract, he wants the expensive contract. Here he was. Yeah, be a good businessman. That's not going to be cheap. You know what the highest paid receiver in the NFL is? Jamar Chase at $40 million a year. So if you have to shell that out for a wide receiver and also pay for Devin Witherspoon, you have to make some really difficult decisions. There are a ton of impending free agents. Now, if you view football through the lens of fantasy football or sports betting, or you just like watching Red Zone more than watching full games, you might not think there's a bigger priority out there, maybe than other than quarterback, to signing your Super Bowl MVP running back. Or if you have a 1992 football mindset, oh, you got to re-sign the tailback. That's not the way that smart front offices work anymore. John Schneider, one of the best executives in the NFL. This isn't baseball where you could just buy everyone as the Dodgers do. Even if it's for 1 year with the tag. You have so many impending free agents to take care of. A lot in the secondary. Job and Kobe Bryant. We mentioned Devin Witherspoon wants a deal. He's eligible for it. Drake Thomas in the linebacking core. Josh Jones. It's hard to find good offensive tackle depth, let alone starters, and Jones stepped in nicely for you. Jake Bobo, Rashid Shaheed. How big was Rashid Shaheed at the trade deadline, bringing him in for Seattle special teams? So all those guys are impending free agents, and there are others to name too. That's the reason why Kenneth Walker likely isn't returning to the Seahawks. That, and you have Zach Charbonnet under contract. So if you have Charbonnet, the answer at running back is him and leaning on your status as Super Bowl champs to replace Walker's productivity. Here's what we mean by that. There are good options available that are going to be cheaper than what Kenneth Walker cost. And because these players, especially the guys who have never won before, might want to go to a place that can win a championship or that they can compete for a championship, you might even get one of these really good players on a discount, given what you just did in the playoffs, winning the Super Bowl and having a 14-win season, all of that. So maybe you can get a guy like Rico Dowdle or Travis Etienne at a cheaper rate than what the Dallas Cowboys just signed Javonte Williams to, 8 years or 3 years, $8 million a year, $24 million. Maybe that's an option that will be cheaper than Kenneth Walker, cheaper than Javonte Williams, and going that path to try to solve the position. But for Kenneth Walker, you got to remember, this is a guy who's clawed his way to this point in his career. And he's now a champion. This show originates from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That's where I sit right now. This has been my home since 2018. When I first arrived in Winston-Salem, I went to a football practice at Wake Forest University. Shout out to the Deeks. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Go Deeks. And in watching practice, it was a really competitive running back room they had. And there was this undersized recruits, undervalued out of Tennessee, just looking to get as many reps as he could get. And it was Kenneth Walker III that I was watching. Struggling to get reps with the Deeks to the point where he transferred to Michigan State, where he got more run, appeared on a national radar, was a Heisman candidate for a period of time, got noticed enough not to be drafted super high in the NFL, but get into the NFL, get an opportunity. He's made the most of that opportunity, wins a Super Bowl, wins a ring, wins the Super Bowl MVP. So now is the time that you get paid. That might be a priority for Kenneth Walker because he hasn't had that giant payday. When he was at Michigan State, that was pre-revenue share. That might have been pre-NIL as well. He's going to want to get paid. So who are the teams that might be willing to pay a large sum to Kenneth Walker III? 3 stand out. The Tennessee Titans, young quarterback, which means you got tons of cap space. Already have had an exciting offseason. He's a Tennessee native. Brian Daboll's the offensive coordinator. They ran the ball well in Buffalo when he was the OC there early on in Josh Allen's tenure. Saquon Barkley had some good years with Brian Daboll as well. That could make some sense. The Washington Commanders, this is another team that's looking to capitalize while they have a quarterback on a rookie deal. Team that went to the NFC Championship game in Jaden Daniels' rookie season. And if Eckler's gone there, Eckler, an impending free agent as well, Walker, he could be a lead back with Rodriguez there. That could make some sense. But there is one team, you're going to hate this suggestion, but needs to be considered. The New York Jets. Breece Hall, if he's not hit with a franchise tag and he goes into free agency, wouldn't it be the most New York Jets thing ever to say, let's completely overpay, blow other offers out of the water, just to say we brought in a name to get our fans believing in a Super Bowl MVP running back and Kenneth Walker III? That'd be the most Jets thing ever. And if you're Kenneth Walker, you might be thinking, already won the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl MVP. What I haven't had is had a giant payday at a position that doesn't have the longest lifespan in the league. Yep. Sign me up to wear gangrene in New York. Let's go with that. But it's looking less and less likely that Kenneth Walker is going to be playing his football for the Seattle Seahawks.